You're listening to the Better Men Podcast, a no deadbeat society project. www.wearebettermen.com. All right, episode 5, our Christmas special of the We Are Better Men podcast. Sometimes I just like saying that, We Are Better Men. I don't know why it rolls off my tongue, like it brings me back to my rap days maybe or something. But
Better man.
yeah, I don't think any of them are saying they're grabbing onto their crotch. We the better men, yo! No, I don't think so. So we thought, Steve and I thought we'd do a quick episode and, wish everybody who listens happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. There's a lot of things in between.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. How's it going for you though? With you're right in the heat of the retail holiday craziness.
I will be honest. The holidays as a kid are amazing. Even as an adult, it can be fun. But once you work retail, the holidays go from the best time of the year to the time you get the most homicidal thoughts in your head. I mean, you get every person from every walk of life coming in. They need exactly that exact thing, and if you don't have it, then you have officially made their hit list, and it's rough.
Yeah, I can't say that I haven't been someone who walked into a retail store and all, especially because I hate shopping in general. I do almost everything online that I can now. Amazon Prime changed my life, but I can't say I haven't been that person, man. I go in there and I need to get like one thing, and it was on the website or whatever, and the flyer, and it wasn't there. And I get it, I understand supply and demand and all the data warehousing that goes into making sure those products are on your shelf. But if it's not there, it's the end of the world.
Oh yeah. I actually get along better with the guys that come, especially with guys that come in and they have this really shitty tone with them because I play on that. So they come in like, man, I just need this one thing. I was like, yeah, I'm sure we got it. And like, man, I'm in a hurry. I was like, I figured you were. I mean, we're just wasting time talking, and it just turns into something where like they appreciate it, I appreciate it, and then they come back later on when they have more time to, buy more stuff. But
there you go. Yeah, sales tactics, right?
Oh yeah, man, that's a psychology course right there.
Yeah. So what do you guys? What do you and the family do for holidays?
The holidays generally are the same, man. We wake up, we open up presents with the kid, which is my personal favorite part. Then we head over to the in-laws' house, and then we head over to the grand in-laws' house, and then we either finish up at my parents' house or back at home trying to not die of an overdose of holiday food.
Yeah, the turkey gets you sleeping. Yeah, we're this year we're doing a little different. We're gonna head out of town. We're gonna spend Christmas in a hotel. I think gonna go see the family and just go up to a small town where there's tons of snow and some snowmobiles, hopefully. But
yeah,
it should be good. Yeah, snowmobiling. Yeah, it's a good time. And the boy's 5 now, so he's like in the summer he finally jumped on a quad with me and we went and ripped around, and now he's all excited to go on a snowmobile, so it should be good. Before that he was a little too timid.
Oh yeah, man, my kid rode on the back of a Harley for the first time when she was it last year that she did when she was 5? Was it this year?
Oh wow.
Either way, she loved it.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, she's a little daredevil then.
Oh yeah, man, my family, we grew up around motorcycles and cars and dirt bikes and four-wheelers, man. We didn't play football and basketball. Everything had a motor and wheels, and that's what we did, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh,
yeah, I think I moved to the city when I was young, so I kind of lost a lot of that. But every summer I spent up in the interior. Well, that doesn't mean much to anyone listening, but to a few hours out of the city in the bush, basically small town population, like 2,000, and all my friends there and family. That's all it is. It's just cars, off-roading trucks, and boats and bikes and whatever. So
I grew up like that, especially in Alabama, man. We had four-wheelers and dune buggies and all sorts of stuff to do something stupid on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was a good time.
Yep. Yeah, it made for a lot of stupid things, stupid decisions, but it was always fun. I banged myself up pretty bad a couple times, but
Oh
it
yeah.
was all for, like, do you ever like tie a rope behind a snowmobile and then like throw on some skis and get pulled around?
Um, I have tied things onto the back of four wheelers,
Oh,
and I've also tied my wheelchair to the back of a bike.
nice, nice.
That's
That's
how I
awesome.
that's how I got around the city in middle school. My best friend would pull me around because we'd go, down to McDonald's or the gas station or something. Yeah.
That's awesome. That would have been, man. See, if YouTube was around back then, you'd be famous right now.
Oh, easily, easily.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about the movies we like to watch, and I really only have one, and I can't watch it with my kid yet. He watches some Arthur Christmas thing that's on Netflix, like even when it's not Christmas. But my go to movie, man, is the National Lampoon's
Oh yes.
A Christmas Vacation from
Yes.
1989. You gotta be weary nowadays when you talk about these guys because you never know who's gonna be next to come out, with some crazy things against them. But that movie I laugh my ass off every time I watch it. There's not a single time I've watched that movie and not laughed. Like every single, like, Chevy Chase is just, his facial expressions make me laugh to tears.
Man,
Like,
he
it's
he
crazy.
was he was a comical genius, man, or still is. I don't know if he's still
Yeah.
alive or not, but man, oh, the National Lampoon series they're all gold. Just like the American Pie
Yeah.
series, all gold.
Oh yeah, American Pie. I got back into American Pie recently. I wanted to watch them, kind of relive my youth. But then, and the first three or whatever are actually really good. But then they started making like all these like follow-ups where Jim's dad, that guy who plays his dad, was in a whole bunch of them, and
Yeah,
they're just stupid, like the
yeah, they
dumbest
got bad.
things. Yeah.
They got bad. Yeah. When I say American Pie, I meant the originals. Yeah, because after
Yeah.
that they got garbagey.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but
man.
those original three, like even that music, man. When I watch American Pie and that, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like all that music, I'm just like high school, man. It's so awesome.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, man. What about you? What's your
man.
holiday movie?
My go-to movie is How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
Yep, yep.
Man, I have been well. Jim Carrey got really big right around when I was born, man, in '91, and just kind of blew up from there. And ever since I can remember, I've been watching Jim Carrey, whether it was on Living Color or his little bit he did on Saturday Night Live, or all of his movies, like Dumb and Dumber and all that. But How the Grinch Stole Christmas was amazing.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Actually, he did it. He he's an amazing actor. Well, he was. Now he's gone a little loopy, but um,
Oh yeah,
did you see that? No, the Grinch was that. It was that was one of the better, like, children's remakes they did. Um,
oh yeah.
have you seen that documentary of him though? Speaking of Jim Carrey, where
Oh,
they,
Jim and Andy.
yeah, yeah, that was crazy, but it was so good.
Yeah, see, I always knew he was a method actor. He'd get real deep into it, man. But the fact that he lived like a year as Andy Kaufman is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, crazy.
And I'm
Just,
surprised he didn't get hit several times.
oh yeah, when Jerry Lawler from the WWF was there, and he acted like Andy Kaufman did to him on the, what was that, Letterman they were on?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, like, yeah, bizarre, man, but great. Like, you got to be like next level psycho, but genius too to be able to pull that off.
That's Jim Carrey though, man. Like if you watch all of his movies like in a row, and they say this in the documentary, you can see the different personality traits of Jim Carrey in each movie, like The Mask and The Truman Show, Dumb and Dumber. Like, oh,
Yeah,
he's gonna go down as one of the best. Oh man, Jim Carrey is awesome. Hey,
yeah.
piece
Oh
of
man.
piece of trivia for you though.
Oh,
Do you know how they got the Grinch to make that smile in the movie?
I have no idea. So you got to tell me.
So they had somebody. So he had a prosthetic face on, and it had a mechanical piece on each side,
Yeah.
and that's how they got his smile up there. He said that was the worst thing he's ever done because the jerk that had the controller for it would make him smile randomly.
That's awesome. I had no idea. I guess that was a pretty hefty mask thing he had on in that movie.
Oh yeah, so good though, so
Yeah,
good.
good. Yeah, even Ace Ventura, man. I watched that, like,
Oh
I don't know how long ago I watched that, but like probably last month or something. But that movie, the second one was kind of, but the first one was genius, man. Like, like the head out of the car thing. Like that be I remember that was like a thing. Like if we were driving around, we'd be like Jim Carrey, and we'd just throw our heads out the window and shit.
Oh, dude, my entire childhood from the time that movie came out was just me referencing that movie. You
Yeah.
know, like the do
Like
not go in
alrighty
there
then.
and the
Yeah.
alrighty then. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Oh man, you know what's funny? That just made me think of somebody else's. I don't know if you ever watched. Did you ever watch the Ernest movies?
Oh, Ernest. Oh my God. Man, those were some of the best.
Yeah, just when I was thinking about the alrighty then thing, my kid, we watch Ernest, he loves it, and it's like we're watching all these movies from the '80s, like Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Stupid. He's even got a Christmas one where he plays like himself and like an evil twin or something. But man, that guy, Jim Vallon, was it Jim? I can't
Jim
remember his
Varney.
name. Varney, that was it. He died. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man, he
I
died, but I mean his movies are he was Jim Carrey level genius as far as comedy goes. Like his timing and his face and his
yeah,
mannerisms. Oh man.
yeah, he was good,
You're
man.
taking me back to being a little kid, man. I love it.
I was just thinking like he's another guy for me, like Jim Carrey and him. Those are like the two. There's probably a couple other, but those are the two that stick out from childhood
Oh yeah.
that I loved. Like they were like culture changing.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. So actually, this is a good segue because we were also going to talk about our favorite holiday memory, favorite Christmas memory.
Yes,
And
let's do it.
I'm going to start off because I have two. They're short though. Um, my
Go
first
ahead,
one,
man.
my first one was living in Alabama here in the States, and um, family was going through a rough time, and it was the first year where I didn't get anything for Christmas, but I got to kind of play the adult with my parents and wrap everything. And that was the first time I got to get that sensation of, man, this is cool. I get to
Giving.
watch. Yeah, I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
buy any of it, but I still felt like I was part of the giving portion of it, and that was cool. Watching my brothers and sisters all happy, and it was just it was a moving moment, something you'll never forget. And at the time it sucked for me because I wasn't getting anything. I was only 14 or 15, but it was still cool.
Yeah.
Um, that
Yeah.
was a
That's
that was a big one, and feeling how my parents felt because when we lived down there, they got stuff from extended family, but it was always pots and pans or groceries or stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, but that was a big one. And the second one was the first Christmas my kid got to open her presents and actually knew what she was doing.
Oh yeah. That's a big one.
Like not when they're 1, 2, 3 years old when they're opening stuff and they get excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it was when she was 2 because my kid's relatively smart compared to some. And man, she was opening up presents and just getting all excited about these Barbie dolls. And oh man, that was magical.
Yeah. That's a big one. The first Christmas. I think Braden was like maybe 3. He didn't really get it until about 3, I think. But man, me, it's it's funny. The giving thing was, I probably blocked out a lot of Christmases as a kid because we went from doing it was kind of like a thing where we'd go for like my family would go 2 or 3 years of doing really well, and then we go through 2 or 3 years, maybe a little bit more of doing really not well, like living in like low income type housing and just
Oh yeah,
struggling a little bit.
yeah,
So
somewhere in there.
Christmas Yeah, so Christmas was like some years really good, some years not so good, but I just kind of like got used to it and didn't really expect it. But the favorite thing for me, like honestly, was my mom would give us, my sister and I, like $20, and we'd go to the dollar store and just buy a whole bunch of stupid shit and then wrap it up and give it to our parents or like to my sister. Like they were dollar store gifts, so they were dumb. Like you probably don't even have any of it. We don't have any of it anymore. But that was probably like the thing that happened every year consistently that I remember that made me happy. And it just goes back to like the giving thing is it's it's kind of weird how that happens when getting presents is awesome, but giving them is so much better. It's almost selfish.
Oh yeah.
Like it makes you feel great giving someone something, so it's almost like a selfish thing. I read an article about that, like the psychology behind why so because I was trying to dig into why I have this desire to just continually do stuff. Like I don't know why. Like even like whether it's stopping by a soup kitchen when I'm driving home and dropping off $20 that I probably shouldn't be giving away or whatever. Just like why am I doing this? And it's because it's like selfishly it makes you feel good.
Oh yeah, man. I try to take little chances I get to teach my kid about giving, and I remember just a couple months ago going to pick my wife up from work, and we picked up some food, and there was this really beat up old guy that was, holding up the sign asking for not even for money, just food or anything that helps. And you can kind of tell the difference between the professional panhandler and the people that need it.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy any extra food, but I was like, you know what, man, here, gave him a like a chicken tender meal, and he scarfed it down right there in front of me, and I was like, that's a guy that really needed it. I mean, my kid loved it, and it makes you feel really, really good. And
Yeah.
I remember being 8 years old, and the first time I ever bought anyone anything was my uncle. He was big into Eagles. He was a biker guy, and I bought him an Eagle from the school Santa shop, and he still has it to this
That's
day.
awesome.
I mean, that was almost 20 years ago, and
Yeah.
he still has it. And that stuck with me because like you said, giving to people is it feels selfish because you feel so good when you do it, and
Yeah.
it's a good high. It's a good thing to be addicted to. As long as you don't hurt yourself in the process, it's a good thing.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's just like, I'd rather feel good from that than from something that's negatively impacting people around me or something, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it, man. I want to drop this one and get it uploaded quick so that it's a nice short one that we can get out there because the podcast is still doing like I think what 2 days ago we put out the other one and it's getting out there quite a bit. So
Yeah,
thank
man.
you to all you that are listening to keep downloading and sharing this stuff and the messages and the comments is all it's amazing when I both Steve and I wish you guys all a Merry Christmas. We are going to say that. It's Christmas.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Yule, Happy Solstice. I don't
There we
think I
go.
missed anything, but if I did, enjoy it.
There we go. All right, man. You take care. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.